Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
How you guys doing? This is Matty. Wonderful morning to see you guys. Welcome to Good Morning Matty. And today I have a really special guest, a good friend of mine and a truly inspirational lady who's gone from hobby to entrepreneur, and finally she's quit her job. So I'm going to introduce today none other than Jacqueline Shaw, founder of Africa Fashion Guide. She's an author and she's a professional designer. So welcome, Jacqueline Shaw. Yay! Okay, I have to say that first of all, Jacqueline's a good friend of mine. So it's just like we're just having a chat, really. This interview is more or less us having a chat because like we don't get to see each other that much.
I don't live here anymore.
No, she doesn't live here anymore, and pretty much we kind of talk. We actually talk every day on Viber.
I prefer WhatsApp.
Yeah, she prefers WhatsApp, but I can't help it, so we talk on Viber quite a lot.
Good. Kind of tired at the moment, being running around as always, but that's my life story at the moment.
Okay.
I'm good.
Cool. So what do you mean you've been running around? Where did you come from this week?
So I went to Paris, Matty's other home in industry, going to a trade show, part of a panel discussion, talking about what I do with my business and everything, and just having a good old time in Paris. So yeah.
What was that like?
I don't travel to Paris so often. The last time I went was January, and before that was years ago with work, I believe. But I'm not really so much in Paris. But it's nice to be in another metropolitan city. Yeah. Seeing what the scene's like for African fashion. Okay. Ethical fashion. Just fashion. In fact, Paris is fashion.
Yeah, I mean, it's your love, isn't it?
You can't not, if it's vintage or if it's just the main stores, the luxury designers.
How did you fall into it? And, like, was it an accident? Was it an act of God? What made you start? That kind of thing.
My career or my business?
Okay, your business. So we want to know about African Fashion Guide because that's what's close to your heart, isn't it? Yeah. So tell us about African Fashion Guide.
I think that it's kind of stemmed from me working in the fashion industry for 14 years now, and I just always loved textiles and loved culture. And looking at my own background, my parents are from the Caribbean, from Jamaica. Looking at my history and wanting to just go to Africa. I was getting quite into the whole Afropolitan look and just history. And so I wanted to go to Africa, and I just felt that at the time something was happening. Yeah. There was energy there, and I did my master's in ethical fashion, and I started to look at Africa, believing that there's something happening there. There's opportunities that are untapped. Yeah. And I felt there wasn't any websites or cool blogs or sites that really highlighted African manufacturing, sustainability, African designers, but looking at the whole supply chain. So this was something that I wanted to investigate. So in 2009, I started my master's in ethical fashion. Then I launched a soft blog, so to speak, with WordPress in 2010. And then 2011, I launched AfricaFashionGuide.com. I launched my book, Fashion Africa, which is available on Amazon, Waterstones and Foils, etc., published by Jacaranda Books. And then I also started to do conferences, business workshops, which Matty's also hosted as well, on our behalf, and consultancy work with companies from Italy to Togo, to just all over the world. So I do a lot of public speaking as well with this as well, because there is an interest, from even in New York I've done talks there, because there's a lot of interest in African fashion and what's going on. Just in Paris, there were some talks about the supply chain, things that are happening, and companies are looking to source in Africa. So I feel that the time that I stepped into it was key. It was optimum time, and now the movement, it goes so fast, and I'm trying to keep up and to make sure that the voice for Africa Fashion Guide is still strong and that it maintains its strength.
So you seem like quite of a founder or of a founding leader in this movement of African fashion and Afropolitan, because Because you truly, I mean, I remember those days when you started. I remember that I was like one of your first like subscribers, like, and followers on Facebook and Twitter, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so cool, Jackie. I was just like, I'm really excited about what you're doing, and I really want to get involved. And you know, for me, it feels like you are one of the founding members of this African fashion movement for young Africans and in the fashion world.
Yeah, I think I like to feel that I'm part of a movement. I like to feel that it's not just being part of the movement, but it's actually making a difference to a nation, to a continent that I've just fallen in love with. And I actually started, I don't know if you remember, with my label. I forgot to mention that, a carpet design. So I did this during my master's because I wanted to test out how it was to make and produce in Africa. So I did some product in Ghana, my love, and some things in Kenya as well, using organic cotton. And I just wanted to kind of see how it was working to produce and to get things from Africa, these two African countries, to Europe.
Yeah.
So it was something that I set up, and Matty was also part of one of the first events we did. I kind of found my feet doing that, but I think that there's a lot of pioneers. There's a lot of other bloggers like African Prince in Fashion. There's Nothing But the Wax, Shayette. There's Fascist Black. There's Bella Niger. There's so many, and some have fallen away. Some over the last 4 or 5 years I've been doing this. There's many blogs that have gone. Many people who were in the industry, and I think it's one of those things where you have to be really committed, very committed.
So do you think it's the finance, or it's a lack of knowledge, or the lack of experience? What do you think it is that made them kind of fall off?
I think for any businesses, it's finance, and it's also your reason to go in to it. Because I remember when I was seeking to invest into property some years ago before the crash, and one of the things they would ask us is that, what's your reason of, how do you say in French? Your raison d'être.
Raison d'être.
That's the one. So like, what is the reason to be involved and to do this thing? And for me, it was a commitment from day one. It was an affiliation, a love, and a belief that there was opportunity and something was happening, and I wanted to support that and push it. So yes, financially, there's always a challenge. Because I do my conferences and events on a shoestring budget, but not everybody will realise this. And I just get a lot of support. I've got a good network. I've really worked hard in the first few years to build my network. I've got some amazing friends around me who will just get up and just get involved. One of my greatest supporters is Matty. She's kind of been there helping out a lot.
It's true. I've been one of them.
Another strong friend is Rich Black. He's a great support, always being there.
What's up, Rich?
He's a really good supporter. Thank you for the love and the support. Anna Gret from Tulip, she's also been very great.
Yeah, Anna Gret's cool.
Really, really cool.
Awesome
there's
lady.
So many. Liesl from Textile Exchange. Prama from Mantis World. Paula from Miamico. Gosh, there's so much. Sandstorm and There's so many people that I can't even thank enough, but they've just kind of gone out of their way supporting. Arietta, stylist, entrepreneur, amazing people. There's so many that I could mention, but all these people have contributed in some way and believed in this thing, and maybe they believe in me or they believe in what I'm doing, but I know that I have the passion and the commitment, so the finances will come, your support will come if you just believe in what you're doing. Okay.
Another really important thing that I kind of wanted to break down to the viewers is like, so we're gonna be really realistic, and we're gonna be kind of tell people what was going on, because I remember when you first started, right? You had a job going on. It's like, I encourage people to learn how to find a way to quit, to be able to embrace something that they really want to do. But you had something else going on before African Fashion Guide, and whilst you were doing that thing before that, so do you want to share with us what you were doing whilst building up Fashion Guides? Because for you, quitting your job was like a gradual process. It didn't just happen all of a sudden. So
Yeah, it's I've always been working as a fashion designer for the industry, for retailers and fashion brands.
Yeah.
Since 2001, when I graduated my bachelor's, and it's something that I've always been entrepreneurial. From the time I left my degree, I started doing wedding dresses.
Yeah.
So like for African clients and even Asian clients as well. So I've always been doing bridal wear and always been doing something. I'm a get up and go person. I just need to do something. But I had this business, and whenever I networked, I used to go to a lot of these like rich dad, poor dad events, and always being around a lot of businesses like speakers and things. And I would always ask them, like, I just want to get out and do my thing. And I'd say, should I just leave my job? And many of them would say, try to juggle the two whilst you can until you built up the business and to a point that you feel that you can go ahead and do it. And I think with an opportunity arose with my present job to leave, basically. And it was debatable. I mean, I could have stayed. I keep thinking I could have stayed at least one more year. That would have been, one more year would have been the maximum.
Yeah.
And the reason being, it's hard to juggle. It's hard doing both, mentally, emotionally. Yeah. It's going to be quite stressful trying to make things happen. You need time. And I've done a lot of stuff that people are always surprised. Oh, you're working.
You have done. Oh my God, you have done so much.
Yeah. It's like, wow. But I think for me it was tiredness, a desire for autonomy, I guess, and just to focus on the things that I love. And just a need to get on with it.
Yeah.
I love fashion. I've been doing it. I just thought that, I was doing okay. I was working. I could have stayed there. But my ceiling, I felt like, is it Alice in Wonderland, when she's just reaching her ceiling.
Oh my God.
There wasn't anywhere to go. Yeah. And I just said to myself, I'm getting to a particular age. I have my family. And so what do I want to do over the next... I've had a 5-year plan last year. Cause I'll be 40 in those 5 years. And what do I want to achieve by the time I'm 40? I put my family plans, I put my spiritual plans, I put my business plans, I put my health plans and everything. So I had this 5-year plan. When I want to get married and have the babies each month, each day. It's a boy or a girl. I'm playing. But I did plan everything out to an extent. Kind of give myself an overview. And I said, I can't... If I want to achieve these plans, especially with family, it's either I focus on my job career as a designer and just get to the top there, or I focus on the business. And I decided I want to give this some time now.
Yeah. So as you said, it was like a Alice in Wonderland moment. Like you hit the ceiling. That's quite a really good analogy because it's timing, isn't it?
Yeah, I felt that the job that because I took a redundancy, and I thought that the job that I took that offered the redundancy, it was voluntary, so I could have stayed. I didn't have to take this, but I thought, let me just take it and not go for broke, but go for success. Go for success. So it just seemed to be the right timing. So now I'm looking at going into research because I want to focus on the African markets and the fashion market in Africa, the consumer market. So I'm focusing on research. So I'll be doing some studies and also working on some projects in relation to Africa.
Totally.